Hey YouTube. So this is a continuation video for anybody who was paying attention from the last video and they kind of want to see how to really hone one of these scripts in, kind of get it to where this is all going to work out in Unity. So before we had our modifiers, and of course you're going to want to apply these modifiers before you go into Unity. So the one thing that we're going to do is kind of figure out where we want to be with the mesh. Now, if you're going to like this is nearly skin tight. If you're going to be skin tight, you might as well do an actual mesh that has a skin tight deal, because when you animate these together, it's never going to work. It's positively never going to work. You can bring the arms up, down, model it in any way that you want, and it'll show through. So what I've found is that base, if you have an object that's going to be moving around and animated, such as a bipedal human, you got to be at a base too. It doesn't look bad at all. It might seem a little thick, especially if you're doing like a female character or whatever. It doesn't look bad at all in Unity. And what you can do is, for areas that aren't going to be flexed in by other things, you can take it down. So the arms could be skin tight. You could be skin tight around the legs and such, but you're not going to be able to be skin tight around the shoulders, arms, or the chest or anything like that, because it's heavily influenced by these other bones and the weights. So um, a lot of this video is just nuance in making one of these meshes work. So that's why I didn't want to include it in the main bulk of how to actually process one of these things. So after we have our so we'll go into edit mode and just kind of take a look and make sure everything's looking good. All the vertices here are they're not like hidden or ripped or anything like that. The reason this is the way it is because it's inflated, obviously, that script that we're using. So everything looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is just go back to object mode and apply that. And then I am going to, so yeah, okay. Let's see if that, right. All right, cool. See, sometimes you'll have problems, right? And always check the center. That's wherever I always keep my eye on, because you have a lot of tearing in that, and it's easy to fix right now instead of later down the road. So, okay, cool, because you can always just step back and then fix it while it's mirrored, and then do it again by doing like a Control Z in your viewport. So go back and apply that again. Oh, go into object mode and we'll apply it. Okay. Blew it up somehow. See, this is a perfect example of when the mesh doesn't want to work out, for some reason. And it's probably because of the other modifiers. So what I'm going to do is just apply that. Oh, I keep doing that. Apply that modifier. Go into edit mode here, and then Control Tab, go into vertice, and then select these guys, and then use the brush thing here. Ooh. Control Z. Be sure to make your clip on so you don't make a fool of yourself. Ooh, I actually selected two there. I didn't realize that. So close in a little bit so we don't select anybody else. Box tool, because I'm lazy. That's why the little handle jiggy was freaking out. And then perfect, yeah, see up here, see how these are all screwed up? You literally just box select all of them, grab the handle because it's a perfect angle, and then drag them over, boom. By perfect angle, I mean like it's just, it's directly over to where it's ripped apart from. So anything on the butt, yep. All right, cool. Fix all that. Now, I'm sure I screwed up the chest somehow. But anyways, you're not going to somehow delete your modifier. Yours is all going to work, and you'll be fine. So this is looking pretty cool. We will apply that. And now one of the main things when you're doing the Unity, bringing into Unity, especially with the bipedal, and especially with anything that's like all over the mesh like this, like clothing and stuff, you're going to want to select your rig or your skeleton and go into pose. And so one of the things that you want to focus on is what's like your main pose going to be. What are the hard poses, and what are you going to kind of have to do to fix hard areas. And one of those is object mode. Select this. Select this. Select the rig. Control P. Automatic weights. All right. Pose mode. Okay, cool. So now it'll move. So notice just with the arm down and like kind of a semi-idle deal, you start getting this tearing inside of the mesh. That'll happen all the way across the chest if we were using like a 1 on the modifier earlier. And so the way that you would no matter what, you should probably fix this, because that tearing is going to be bad, especially on the top of the muscle too, or on top of the shoulder. So Alt R to go back to the original. And so what we're going to do to fix both of those things, just go to object mode, click our piece of clothing, go into weight paint mode, and then simply go up here, use a scroll wheel if you have to get to, what is it called? Just, I don't know, it's just the vertex group area. And then we'll pull it out just a little bit here. Ooh, pull this out. And then we're going to find each of these areas that are going to be, that we just found that are going to be bad, and kind of weight paint them out. So go up here, go to subtract. This is a take away. And we will just kind of make it, fix where the auto weight painting kind of screwed up, because it doesn't, that bone doesn't need to affect all the way to the ribs like that and push it in just because it's moving. So we'd rather it interlope than push in and see the skin, because that's not a natural movement. So I'm gonna go down or up. Up. We'll go to the upper arm, do the same thing. Oop. What in the fuck? I gotcha. Okay, anyways, just kind of do this on the other side here. Cool. That's basically what you would have to do to kind of take away the influence of that area and make it so when it's in Blender or when it's in Unity, it doesn't look terrible. The closer it is to the skin, the more weight painting you're gonna have to do to make it look natural. Excuse me, and not freak out the mesh itself. So we'll go back into object mode, select that, pose mode, and see now we can bring that arm in, and it kind of, and so when you're in the kind of the Unity natural, or not natural, but the Unity animations idle that they provide, it's not blowing up your mesh. So very cool little easy tricks like this. You'll have to do a lot of weight painting the more intricate things get. You can try subdivision, you can try all sorts of different modifiers to kind of help you out and make things look natural while still giving enough room for your base mesh to move around. So thanks so much for watching, and watch the Unity one too if you want to kind of see a quick workflow for how to add these things in. All right, thanks.